Hi, just wanted to let you know that I've been working on Duel, the 8th episode from the first season of Blake 7. I mentioned in my last video that I'd started work on Duel just before Christmas. Now a big thanks to everyone that tuned into my channel to watch Time Squad 2020 to see the updates. Most people seem to give me pretty good feedback, so that's really what spurred me on to remake aspects of Duel. And please subscribe to the channel and like it if you can. And if you do subscribe, of course, you'll be alerted when an upload of a new episode comes out. And my target is to try and get a new episode complete every 3 months. So fingers crossed, that's 4 in a year. Of course, I'm hoping that the current events of the year do not stifle the progression in any way, but one never knows at the moment. Where do we start with Duel? A great story, and a very similar story of course to the Star Trek Arena episode, but of course this is Blake 7, so naturally it's much better. Now some people will be asking why I'm not doing them in order. Well, I will start to be more linear after Duel, but I'm going to do Seek, Locate and Destroy, which is the next one, and then I'm going to kind of go back to the beginning. It's a bit haphazard, but you just have to bear with me. So Duel, yeah, great episode, and this episode really plays to the strengths of Gareth and Stephen, and both damn fine actors.
Now the first half of Duel, of course, is the great space battle between Travis and Blake, but we don't see much of it, very, very little, hence the reason why this 2020 version has had a major overhaul. In fact, the episode virtually opens with the 3 pursuit ships waiting over the planet for Blake to turn up.
And when they do attack, we just don't see very much at all. We just see the pursuit ships firing these plasma bolts on screen, actually inside the Liberator, and that's it. Now this goes back to what I was saying in the previous video. Because of the minuscule budget, they couldn't afford to do a space battle. So what the scriptwriters did with this one was a great effort in using kind of descriptive writing. However, with the script and getting the actors to describe much of the action, I always felt it was quite a slow beginning to it. I mean, Garen, for example, would shout out things like salvo fired, and 4 of them, but you never really saw anything. You know, the actors would do their normal, they'd have to chuck themselves around on set to make the ship look like it had an impact, but that was it. So, what have I done to Duel, you might ask? Well, the hardcore fans had better take a stiff drink, because there's been an awful lot of cutting for me to do in this episode, sadly.
One of the scenes I removed from Duel was when Blake suddenly gets up during the battle and starts dabbing at some kind of electronic notepad and draws a battle plan on the Liberator screen while under attack from Travis and the 3 pursuit ships. Now this really didn't work for me in the original, and because now the greatly accelerated CGI effects of the new sequence, it really had to go. So sorry about that, but it doesn't work in the new version, and you'll see why.
So going back to what I said earlier about the script, the space battle is about 6 minutes long.
Now of course this 6-minute screen sequence is a long time, so as you can imagine it's taken me quite a while to create the new CGI space battle.
And the problem I've had with Time Squad in my early days was learning the software. But now the models are kept stored on my hard drives, complete with their textures. So, most of that hard work is done, and all leaving me just to animate these space battles. I just had to use my imagination and do a storyboard for the new sequence.
Preemptive action was inhibited by manual override.
In the original script, Zen often tells us that plasma bolts are closing, and the crew seem to have an awfully long time to wait before they hit. So I've also made the pursuit ships fire 2 types of weapon. The traditional plasma bolts, which we hear about, and you can hear the ships kind of wind up the power before releasing these.
Fire on my command.
Now I wanted to show you here a sample of the work. The pursuit ships are models made by Siberia 23, and they've been textured and animated by myself with some subtle upgrades of course. The original first, and now the new version.
The other shots that they fire are what I would class as things like standard laser blasts, which are much faster but just not as powerful. So you'll see a combination of these in the new animation. Now in making this space battle scene, it's really opened up the first part of the episode, and now you can really see the crew working under pressure to get Zen and the Liberator to outmaneuver the evil Travis. There's no longer a need for the actors to describe what's going on because, well, you can see it. I've not touched the fight between Travis and Blake. As I say, there really was no need. However, I have recut the incident of when the android knocks out Jenna, as I never felt this worked particularly well in the original episode, so apologies BBC.
I have included a lot more of Cinefar, however, as I felt we never really saw her do too much in the original episode. So I've taken some sequences that were originally filmed in the episode and I've reanimated them and added some effects. And now you can finally see the power of Cinefar as she stops both Travis's ship and the Liberator from destroying each other.
Now, one criticism I have taken on board since Time Squad is that some people mention that the new shots are just a little too sharp. So again, I've downgraded these and hopefully they'll mesh in better with the original standard definition films. I've also been adding sound effects into this episode, but not for the Liberator because she's already been done, but for the pursuit ships. And this has really been souped up to make you feel that these are very, very agile and fast ships. And I've also added in some music as well to get you in the mood. Now, another thing that people did say to me is that the music was far too modern for Blade 7, but the idea of doing this is to bring it bang up to date, so that's why I've done that. Now, I might even release a trailer of this because it's not complete, but I will let you know as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and thanks for your support.